Hi there, I'm Noah Bradley and this is Handmade House TV. On this week's episode, I wanted to give you a few pointers in hauling long loads in the back of your pickup truck. So stay tuned. In a previous episode, I'd shared with you the importance of owning a pickup truck, or the value of having a pickup truck, and how if you own a pickup truck, you can haul just about anything you possibly want in a pickup truck. They're versatile vehicles that help us in so many ways. And I'm standing right now in front of my own personal pickup truck, and that I've owned for 31 years now. And you can see in the back of it, I have a ridiculously long load going on back here of ladders that I brought into this, for helping me in the construction of this little log shed that I'm building. And I thought I might share with you a few pointers on hauling long loads in the back of a pickup truck. The ladders, as you can see, they're about 20 feet long. Actually, I think these are 40 footers. They're doubled ladders, and so they're extending way beyond the back of the truck. Since the bed of the truck is only 8 foot long, you can pretty well figure out that there's more ladder sticking out beyond the truck than there's actually on the truck. And how is that possible? Is that safe to do? From an engineering perspective, from a practical experience, you can haul anything in the pickup truck, and you can extend it as far back as you would you'd have a hard time believing. And my understanding of the law, and from talking to police, and I've never been ticketed yet, knock on wood, is that you can extend things off of the back of your vehicle in infinity. That there is no limit to how far you can extend things beyond the back of it. There is a limit to how high you can extend them to the front, and there's a limit to how high up in the air it can be, or how wide it can be. But as far as going back, there is no legal limit to it whatsoever. The only stipulation is at the very end of it, there needs to be a flag on it. And so at the rear, at the end of whenever I'm hauling something, I think the law is, I think it's over 2 feet beyond the back of your vehicle, then it needs to have some kind of red flag that's visible so that people won't run into it. And if you're doing this at nighttime, that needs to be a light on the end. And by the way, I'm giving you law as I know it here in Virginia. What your law is, you need to check with it there. But anyway, I've never had an issue with it. So you can haul whatever you want on. So how is it that, first of all, how is it that something is suspended that far off the back of it? First of all, I tend to cantilever it into my truck. Whenever possible, I try not to lay something flat in my truck. By doing that, if there's any momentum for it, it will slide down and into my truck and not back off of my truck. Whenever you put weight in the back of your truck starts to sag a bit, and therefore the tail end of your truck is hanging lower than the front of it. So there's a lot of motivation for it to slide on out. So whenever possible, I leave my tailgate up. I stick the stuff in there. It creates the stuff above human height, so that nobody's going to walk into it at, say, the gas station or whatever. And so I do that. And also, as I've told you before in a previous episode, that I have a toolbox on the back of my truck, and this is bolted and anchored into my pickup truck. And there's a space underneath the toolbox where anything like ladders or whatever can slide underneath that toolbox. So there is the toolbox itself, the weight of it plus it being anchored is holding down on this end of the ladders. And also that whenever I haul something, the longer I haul the stuff, the more stuff I'm motivated to put on top of it that's within the truck, to provide some balance, some weight on this end of it to hold it down. And so I deliberately brought in a load of lumber on top of these extra long ladders in order to hold it down. The third thing that I put into process is straps. That you really want to make sure and strap your load down, so in the worst possible case, it's always going to remain on the pickup truck. You never want to go down the road if there's any inclination at all that something on your truck might come off. You want to not do that. It's not about law, it's about safety of other individuals. You want to make sure that things are always strapped So I more or less strap something so that there is zero chance of it happening, so that it actually becomes part of my pickup truck. So the first thing that I do in strapping something is that typically I will band all of the things that are extending beyond the truck together. That if one thing is going to fall off, everything is going to fall off. If I have a strap that attaches to one item on the back of my truck, then all items are going to stay on the truck. So by banding them together, they are united, and they are one unit, and there's less chance of things slopping and rattling back and forth. So a good bonding strap that straps everything together is the first step. And then typically I will run straps from my pickup truck to that double bonded strap and bond it so that it is not only holding the load in the center of the truck so that it's not shifting anywhere, but also it's holding it firmly up to the front of the truck, up underneath that toolbox, and holding it possible. So there's no chance of it sliding out. There's no chance of it getting out away from the toolbox, and all of that weight on top of it, even if it did slide a little bit and beyond the toolbox, it's still being held down properly there. And then also I will run a strap across the entire load as well, holding everything placed, holding everything together into one massive unit. So a good strap going from both sides of the truck, anchored into the truck, back to this double bonded load of ladders, so that the load will not shift anyway. It's all massive together. It's all pulled to the front. Encourage you to buy really high quality straps. Take your time, strap your load down well, make sure and put a flag on it, and you can get it done. You can make this truck haul anything for you. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me here on Handmade House TV. You guys take care. Thank you so much for all of your kind comments and for subscribing to this channel. We look forward to seeing you next week here on Handmade House TV. Goodbye now.